So instead of inventing your own new games, you can leverage the resources of AAA titles and turn basically any off-the-shelf game into a biofeedback game. So let's look at some examples. So here is a mist texture that's displayed over the game Homecoming. And if you're thinking, what mist? What is she talking about? Then I consider our approach to be a really big success, and I'll explain why in a minute. And what I'll do is I'll show you what happens as the level of obfuscation increases. So as it increases, you can see more mist flows across the screen, and this is a static image, but to the point where it becomes impossible to make any progress in the game. You just can't see enough of what's going on. And recall that the obfuscation is controlled by the user's physiological state. So here a user is wearing an EEG sensor, controlling the number of animated spiders that crawl across the screen. And as he enters into kind of an undesirable state where there's too much excitement being exhibited, more crawling spiders come across the screen, which obscures the underlying screen and makes it harder to play. And the appearance of the texture overlay can be changed programmatically. Here, mist is displayed over the game capsized, but we've changed the mist to be white instead of black. So although our system can use any visual effect to provide biofeedback to the user, we feel that the experience of biofeedback games might be improved if the graphical feedback is visually consistent with the underlying game, like spiders crawling in a game set in a jungle. This way, our system could appear as if it was integrated with the underlying game. And I'll give a few examples of what I mean by that. But the appearance of the effects might not need to be super literal, like as literal as falling rain in an outdoor golf game. Effects that relate to the theme, narrative, or world of the game may also contribute a good experience. So for example, a fiery portal that grows and shrinks to reveal the underlying display might be effective for use with a fantasy game like World of Warcraft here, even though it has no literal meaning in the game. And we have 5 off-the-shelf effects that can be used to create lots of different graphical appearances in our overlay. On the previous slide, you saw what is the fractal noise effect. And here we see the static sprite effect as cracking glass over the game Portal 2, which has a lot of glass in its environment, and mud splatters over the off-road game, racing game Nailed. So hopefully what I'm showing you is that a single effect can be used to create quite visually distinct overlays. This is the tunnel vision effect. And the nice thing is that the user needs no knowledge of programming to create these distinct overlays. It happens using our system simply by taking a graphic, like a JPEG or a PNG file, and putting it into a folder, and so substituting one graphic for another, and requires only some basic knowledge of an image editor. So this is the tunnel vision effect used to create vines over the adventure game Up, and of course, pulsing veins over an old game, the Hulk. Because what else are you going to put pulsing angry veins over? So to create these 2 different looks, the image of veins was simply substituted with an image of vines, and that creates 2 very different graphical overlays.